You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
James McDonald, JAMES,
Bob James, he is up on the stand. He's testifying in the trial of Keefe D, who is up for the trial on the murder of Tupac Shakur. 30-something years later, and here we are. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We're going to get straight to it. Like, share, and subscribe to the Bass YouTube channel. If I was Keefe D, I would be shaking in my doggone hush puppies right now, man. I would be shaking in my boots, man. Bob James, we know he tells it, man. He snitched on his brother and he snitched on FG, and that's public information. If you don't believe me, look it up.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Mr. Paul, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here because of a court order. Is that right?
Correct.
That you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. But you were instructed by a court that you had to attend.
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about September 7th, 1996. Were you at Club 662?
Yes.
And look at Keefe D face. He's like, boy, you better forget everything about September 7th, 1996. Like I said, man, he's worried. He knows that Bob James will tell it. There's not even any evidence that Keefe D was there. So is this going to be the groundbreaking evidence? Will James McDonald, Bob James, is he about to give it up and say that Keefe D was there?
What was Club 662?
It was a club that Suge bought, and we operated it. When he opened, I was head of security through the neighborhood. Just a place to go and hang out.
Did the number 662 mean anything?
Well, to the new guys, that was part of our neighborhood, 662,
Okay.
MOB.
Okay, MOB. And when you say MOB, there used to be, before Apple iPhones and those types of things, when you had to have landlines and you pressed numbers, 662, there would be letters under those numbers, and M and O would be under 6. Is that right?
Right.
And B would be under 2?
Yes.
So 662 would be MOB.
Yes.
Called me a terrible witness. There is no way I would have answered that question. He would have asked me what's 662. I would have said it's numbers. I would have told you it's 14 before anything else. I would have added it all together. Never would I have told you that stands for our neighborhood, MOB.
When you talk about Suge, are you talking about Suge Knight?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Suge?
He lived in my neighborhood.
And is that in Compton?
Yes.
When you were at Club 662, you said you were head of security.
Yes.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr. there with you?
Not at that time.
No?
No.
When was he with you?
I got out of prison in 1988. Suge came and got me in 1988, like 4 days from coming home. Started another company, Burn Hill Records. Then Death Row Records came. Soon as Death Row was launched, Reggie came a few months after that.
Okay, so we're talking about the start of Death Row Records. Reggie wasn't part of Death Row Records initially, but you were.
Yes.
And then Suge Knight, was he the boss of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Okay. Was Suge from the same neighborhood?
From the mob?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Suge was, he was guilty by association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood.
Just say no. Just say no. No. What you mean? What, from the neighborhood? Just say no. No. You could have skipped right on past that question. You telling honestly. Here he goes. About to give up too much information. I sure can't tell they're making you be there. Only thing I do is say yes, no. I don't know. Come on, James.
We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row and started to recruit us, then yes, he's from the hood.
So I guess there's a difference between living in on a certain street versus being from the hood.
Yeah.
And how would you describe that difference?
I look at it, you have three different type of friends in the neighborhood. You got gang members, you got gang bangers, and you got men that just guilty by association from living in that area.
And can you tell me what the difference between a gang member and a gang banger is?
A gang member hangs out. A gang banger handles his business, put in work, do what the gang do.
And what was your role with Death Row?
I was the guy that if something happened, she would have you take care of that. Like Snoop Dogg trial, there was issues up there. I was sent up there to make sure those problems didn't happen again.
Man, you gotta shut the fuck up, James. You got to shut the fuck up. You mean to tell me you're the one that was sent to handle the issues? Say it professionally and just say you were security. And like, I just made sure that the artists were taken care of. I made sure the artists were well protected. I made sure Sugar was well protected. You didn't have to say all that shit. Only thing you have to say is you're security. Come on, man. He likes to be up there. Yeah, you like to be up there, Mob James.
And are those problems, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics, but are those problems meaning issues with other people who might be gangbanging or might be trying to threaten folks?
Correct, yes.
And you are somebody that Suge relied on to be able to protect his roster of music artists and other things like that.
Correct.
And after you were asked to help out with Snoop, did Snoop have any other problems?
No, we didn't have one issue at court.
Now, I'm going to ask you, fast forward a little bit, to were you familiar with the Southside Compton Crips?
Yes.
Would you say they were somebody you were in alliance with or a rivalry with?
Right.
Okay. And would sometimes that rivalry get violent?
Anytime you're dealing with the gang life, there's going to be violence at any given time.
Are you familiar with somebody by the name of Tupac Shakur?
Yes.
How are you familiar with Tupac?
He was assigned to death row.
And when he was signed with Death Row, would he also hang out with you guys?
He hung with my brother now. Yeah. Not me.
Who was your brother?
Alton McDonald, Buntry Ave.
Did he went by Buntry?
Yes.
Now, during this time, is it fair to say that Mr. Shakur had an issue with rappers from the East Coast?
I think Tupac inherited the beef between Suge Knight and Puck.
Okay, that was your perspective of it.
That's all it was. And we all fell. Some of us fell victim to it because we allowed ourselves to be a part of the BS, should I say. And that was a situation between record companies, not gangs. So technically it wasn't our business. But when you had 20 men just fresh out of prison and didn't have a way of getting the things they wanted, getting a paycheck from Suge, we did almost anything and everything to get that paycheck.
Now, was there another gang that was associated with Bad Boy Records, the East Coast record company that Puffy had?
The only one I know of is Southside.
And did that escalate the tension between Mob Piru and Southside?
At the time, there was no at war, it was peace. And when the two record companies got into it, Bad Boy went to Keefe D now, and Suge came to us. So that intertwined everything, and we had issues.
Puffy and Suge played y'all like pawns in their game. They didn't have to get their hands messy. And they took care of both of the people they wanted to take care of. Then you have people like James McDonald who are up here on the stand now in his 60s, late 50s, wherever he's at. That is explaining it all. There's no reason to tell a lot of these things that they already know. I'm not saying that he's definitely not giving them anything, but he doesn't sound like a hostile witness either. He does not sound like he does not want to be there. I promise you, if you start asking me these questions, you're going to know I didn't want to be there, and you're just going to get me up off the stand because I'd wasted your time.
Do you recall any instances where that you were at where there were those issues manifested itself in terms of violence?
Are you serious? Don't ask me that right here. I can't say that on both sides. When each neighborhood met each other, there was a lot of tension. I'd say that.
Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about September 7th, 1996.
Mhm.
Were you in Las Vegas on September 7th of 1996?
Yes.
Why were you in Las Vegas?
To run the security at 662, we were having issues with individuals that said that they were coming for whatever reason they was coming for and to come to 662. My job was to not let that happen.
Similar to the kind of security you were asked to apply in the whole Snoop Dogg situation.
It didn't have nothing to do with Snoop Dogg. It was, everybody came, well, Suge and Bunch and them, his entourage, everybody went for the fight. My job and all of my people were there to make sure nothing funny happened at 662. So we were the fall guys. So if something happened, we was the one that's going to go to jail for it.
You knew that when your 20-something-year-old self, your 30-year-old self knew that you were the foul guy, the one to go to jail if anything happens. I don't want to have any kids on this channel. I'm not talking to kids, but I'm going to talk to some of you people who are stupid just like James McDonald was. That is the dumbest I've ever heard in my life, to know that you are purposely the person to take the blame to go to prison.
So nobody else was going to come up there and disrupt it in that manner. But if anybody remember that night, it was so many Metro and everybody there. No, neither side could have did anything. So it was calm, it was peaceful.
So when you say there's so much Metro there, you're talking about so much Metro at Club 662?
It was police all over the place.
Now you said you were there to be on the lookout for something. What were you?
You said I was on the lookout for nothing.
I apologize. You were there. You were there in order to ensure there weren't any problems. Is that fair?
To make sure everything was good.
And because you had heard there might be some issues.
Right.
And what were the issues that you were concerned about?
Individuals coming up there creating an issue we was having with different sides of from with Crips, period.
Yeah. So you were worried about Crips. Not worried. I'm sorry. You were there providing security to ensure that Crips did not initiate any violence at Club 662.
Not just Crips, that nothing would happen.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. And then when you were there, was Reggie Wright Jr. with you that night at September 7th, 1996 at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Reggie doing there?
Reggie's job was to watch me and make sure I don't get in trouble. Everybody knew how I was. So Reggie, everybody else went to the fights. Reggie was there to watch me with the people that was there.
And I'm guessing that you were not the only person there making sure there wasn't any problems at Club 662.
I'm positive it was 30, 45 rules there.
And again, that was to make sure that there wasn't any violence that occurred at Club 662.
Right.
When at some point that night, do you learn that Tupac or Suge had been shot?
That night, yes.
Can you tell me how you learned about that?
Well, people was coming back and was explaining that Tupac and Suge just got shot. Everybody was in a uproar. A lot of people started even trying to get over there on Cobalt. we couldn't leave because we didn't pay to do this here. It wasn't too long after people started coming back, like Haron came back and went to the hospital. The majority of the people was leaving and then coming back because that night they said Tupac was going to be all right. And even Suge came back with a little bandage on his head. And we thought everything was good. People kept partying.
So, and when Suge came back, you said he had a bandage on his head, but
the dude said he got shot, but he was grazed, a little scar, but nothing penetrated.
some people would describe being shot in the head, even
Well,
slightly.
he described that, I mean,
Yeah.
he's wrong.
Hey, let me know what you think in the comments. Is James McDonald talking too much? Is Mob James saying too much? Or is he being a good witness for what side, the prosecution or defense, man? Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep on listening to Mr. McDonald.
Was Reggie with you when you found out that Tupac and Suge were shot?
Yes.
And did it appear to you in any way that Reggie Wright Jr. was coordinating the murder of Tupac Shakur?
Impossible.
I mean, and I say this because you're aware that there have been some conspiracy theories that Reggie Wright Jr. is responsible for the murder of Tupac.
And it's so not true. His father was implicated, and his father had something to do with it. Reggie Wright used to be a police officer. And here again, I've been knowing Reggie Wright over 50 years. His daddy, as a police officer, patrolling my neighborhood. He done took me to jail many times when I messed up. If Reggie killed Tupac, then death row is over with. Tupac was the money source. Tupac was that guy at death row. So Reggie would have had a problem if he would have did that. And Suge, I truly believe Suge would have opened his mouth if Reggie betrayed him like that. So people say what they want to say.
After that night, do you stick around in Las Vegas or do you go back to Compton?
Well, I stayed in Vegas and we left that morning because we knew we was going to have neighborhood issues, and everybody left and went back to Compton.
Why were you thinking you might have neighborhood issues?
Well, you asking me some. The issues that we was having was heated, and Compton was on fire at the time, and things were happening. And me personally, staying in Vegas wasn't worth it. That man in the hospital, it's time to go and protect your home front and be prepared for whatever happened there. You know what I'm saying? Like the other side was being prepared and was prepared to do things because Orlando got beat up in there. And that's something you don't tolerate. So you was going to get some repercussion from that and everything else that was going on. So living this life, you got to be ready. If you're not, you might as well just lay down.
Now, you weren't there for the beating of Orlando Anderson at the MGM, were you?
No, I was.
Yeah, like we talked earlier, you were at 662.
Yeah.
But are you aware of why Orlando was targeted?
I'm aware of a lot of things. Things that was going on. People ain't talked about it in 30 years. Today ain't one of them. I don't mean to be funny, but here's the thing. A lot of things happened that night. A lot of things happened weeks and weeks after that night. Me or anybody else bringing up the dead is wrong. A lot of people got hurt behind this situation in itself. living the life and how we lived in Compton, it's one thing. You bring back all of the guys that made it, like me, I'm 61 years old now, to rehash and relive this situation again. I told every attorney in here that tried to get me to come here, you better treat me as a hostile witness. And I think that's where I'm about to go now, because you asking me questions, I can't answer those questions.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Then I'm not going to speak on Orlando. Let me ask you something about yourself. There was a rumor that Tupac had knocked you out one time.
I'd have killed him.
That would have been your response if that happened.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you and everybody else. I said it on my podcast show.
We are at the murder trial of the man accused of the one they just asked you the question, what would you have done if this would have happened? I would have killed him. I'm not about to say any kind of like that and play games like that. That is stupid. That is crazy. You 61 years old. You too old to be saying that. Now let me know if you are familiar with the conspiracy theory of Reggie Wright Jr. supposedly having something to do with Tupac's death.